Hello and welcome. If you're trying to cram for an exam or just need a super quick refresher on liver physiology, you have come to the perfect place. We're going to break down everything you need to know, nice and simple.
Okay, let's just dive right in. No time to waste. We're covering the liver and its most famous product, bile, and we're going to hit all the high-yield points you absolutely need to know. Let's get started.
First up, let's meet the star of our show, the liver. And look, it's not just any organ, it's the largest gland in the entire human body, and honestly, the undisputed powerhouse of our metabolism.
So where is this powerhouse? It's tucked away safely in the upper right part of your abdomen, right underneath your diaphragm. And from this one spot, it runs so many operations: digestion, metabolism, detoxification, storage, you name it. It is incredibly busy. Now here's something really unique about the liver. It has this special dual blood supply. The hepatic artery brings in all the fresh, oxygenated blood to keep the liver cells energized. But then, the portal vein brings nutrient-packed blood straight from your intestines. This means the liver gets first dibs on all the nutrients you've just eaten. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so if the liver is a factory, what's one of its main products? Well, that brings us straight to bile. This is one of the most critical things it makes.
So what exactly is bile? The best way to think about it is like a sophisticated yellowish-green dish soap, but for breaking down fats. It's made by the liver's worker cells, the hepatocytes. Then it gets stored and concentrated in the gallbladder, just waiting for you to eat something fatty. Its number one job? To tackle that fat.
Here are the quick stats for your exam notes. The color is yellowish-green. Its pH is alkaline, between 7.6 and 8.6, which is super important for neutralizing stomach acid. And yep, it has a bitter taste. Your liver makes a whole lot of this stuff, about 500 to 1,000 milliliters every single day.
Now take a look at what bile's actually made of. You can see that huge blue section, it's about 97% water. But don't let that fool you. The real magic, the important stuff, is happening in that other little 3%. That's where you find the active ingredients: bile salts, pigments, and cholesterol. So let's zoom in on those active ingredients. We really need to understand the two most important parts: the salts, which do all the hard work in digestion, and the pigments, which are basically just waste products.
Okay, this is a huge point for any exam. The difference between bile salts and bile pigments. They are not the same thing. Bile salts are the heroes here. They're made from cholesterol and they're essential for digestion. Bile pigments, on the other hand, are just leftovers from old, broken-down red blood cells. They don't help digest anything. They're waste products that give bile its color. Just remember, salts are functional, pigments are waste.
So how do these amazing bile salts actually work? It's a process called emulsification. Just picture a big blob of oil in a glass of water. It doesn't mix, right? Well, bile salts come in and act like a detergent, smashing that large glob into thousands of tiny little droplets. This creates a much larger surface area, which lets digestive enzymes get in there and break down the fat so much more easily.
And what about those pigments we mentioned? The two main ones to know are bilirubin, which is yellow, and biliverdin, which is green. Again, these are just byproducts from recycling old red blood cells. They're what the liver is trying to get rid of.
Okay, we know what's in bile. Now let's just pull it all together in a quick summary of why it's so important for our bodies.
Here are the top 5 functions, perfect for flashcards. 1. Fat digestion, through that emulsification we just talked about. 2. Fat absorption, which includes those super important fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. 3. It neutralizes the acidic gunk, or chyme, that comes from the stomach. 4. It's a way to get rid of waste, like bilirubin. And 5. It helps lubricate the intestines.
But the liver is so much more than just a bile factory. Seriously, that's just one department. Let's look at some of its other core jobs that make it the body's central processing unit.
You know, if the liver had a superpower, it would, without a doubt, be its metabolic functions. It's the central hub for managing all the carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids for your entire body.
Let's start with carbs. Don't let these 3 big words intimidate you. Just think of the liver as a pantry for sugar. Glycogenesis is when you stock the pantry. The liver takes extra glucose from your blood and stores it as glycogen for later. Glycogenolysis is when you take sugar out of the pantry. It breaks down that stored glycogen to release glucose for energy. And gluconeogenesis, that's like making sugar from scratch when the pantry is empty. The liver can actually create brand new glucose from other things, like amino acids. Amazing.
It's also a master of proteins and lipids. It processes amino acids, converts toxic ammonia into a much safer compound called urea, and it makes essential proteins for your blood, like albumin. For lipids, it burns fatty acids for energy and makes the cholesterol your body needs to build cells and hormones.
The liver is also the body's main warehouse. Besides its glycogen pantry, it stocks up on vital nutrients. It keeps a reserve of vitamins like A, D, and B12. Plus, it stores important minerals like iron and copper, releasing them whenever your body needs them.
And finally, think of the liver as your personal bodyguard and detox center. It filters your blood, neutralizing everything from toxins to medications. And it has these specialized immune cells, called Kupffer cells, that act like bouncers, destroying any bacteria that sneak into your bloodstream from your gut.
So after all that, here's a final thought. We're talking about an organ that performs over 500 vital functions, most of them silently, 24/7, without us even noticing. So you have to wonder, could the liver be the most hardworking and maybe the most underrated organ in the entire human body? Something to think about. That's your 5-minute revision done. You've got this. Good luck.